the Southeast did not join the protest because they are mourning? Is that what you're saying? Or is it because you have been protesting and the rest of the country did not join you?
We have been protesting and the Igbos are engendered species. Nobody join us. Let them do this one. Let us.
You know, this is different from what Senator Hope Uzodinma said, the governor of Imo State.
Of course.
It says the South is dissatisfied with the people, with the president.
Yeah.
The deputy speaker has also said that the president has been fair to the Southeast. This president has been fair to the Southeast, and that's why they have not joined. So I'm asking you, as an Igbo man and a lawmaker, are your people satisfied with how they have been treated by this administration?
Of course, no. With due respect to Governor Hope Uzodinma, he has his own opinion. Some people voted for him, as well as they voted for me. How can I tell you that Igbo people are satisfied with what is happening in Nigeria of today? If I finish it from this station, if I go back to my town, they will stone me. Because I'm not doing it. Look, that we are not fighting the president. Let me tell you the facts. Let me lay it on the table. Labour Party presidential candidate said that he will remove the fuel subsidy. Right?
Mm-hmm.
His Excellency Atiku Abubakar said he will remove the fuel subsidy. Right? Mm-hmm. His Excellency Bola Tinubu said he will remove the fuel subsidy. Right? They agreed on one thing. What they don't agree on is the mode, the route. Like P2B might come in on that inaugural day and say, I will remove fuel subsidy in 3 months. Atiku Abubakar will say, I will remove fuel subsidy in 6 months. The truth is that they will remove fuel subsidy. Now, let us come to the president not talking to the people. During the campaign, how many times did the president talk to the people? Did he appear on any debate? You saw all these things here, voted him in, and you want him to change as the president. You people are not being fair to Nigeria. Tell the people the truth. This, our president, never talked to Nigeria during the campaign, and you want him to change. It is not possible. You are being unfair to the man. He showed you himself had the issue, and what you ordered was what was produced to you. So what are we talking?
I want to get because we need you to get that payslip. Your phone is in front of you right now, so we need you to start to send the payslip so we can show Nigerians since you're being forthright about it. But Prof, while he does that, we listen to the lawmaker here. When it comes to what the protesters are asking for, this cutting down the cost of governance. True, everyone wants to be able to say, oh, the buck stops at the president's table. But we have lawmakers like him. We have state governors. We have local government chairmen. We have a lot of people who are part of this governance structure. The cutting down of the cost of governance and the request for a unicameral legislature, is it realistic? Is this a realistic demand from these protesters? And is this something that you think could help?
I'll start from the protest and how it can be from the area of how to get across to the people. At a time like this, a lot of people will try to shine. People will come on television or read out something and show, oh, how they are defending government. And of course, they will all struggle to get you to the presidency. The fact is that government communication must be structured. There is only one institution in the country, aided by another of its forestators, that has offices, information centers all over the country. Discipline must return to government communication, discipline and funding, namely feeding, because the person in charge of communication is sitting on top of a pyramid fed through every federal information center and every agency of government. That's why you have press secretaries described as resident information officers, staffers of information ministry, resident in your ministry for feedback. All of that is distorted. Remember, I was special assistant to the Minister of Information. Remember, Jerry Ghana was also Minister of Information before my boss. Go and ask two of them. And probably the current minister. Is that ministry funded? Maybe Idris is being funded up. Is one of the most unfortunate jobs to take. Because you're not funded and everybody is expecting miracle. That's number one. Some of the issues on the table now, like the beating of the soldiers at that, they say, oh, orientation. Is a national orientation agency funded? So All of that aside, you now ask yourself two things. Let structure come into place. Let order come into place. Let discipline. People should stop running up and down and trying to shine. We developed that culture over the last 20 years, where anybody can break in or go see what I did. Meanwhile, the person has no reach outside some elite circle, and those around him will come and say, okay, this man is very good. That's number one. Now, on the question of entitlements of lawmakers, from the perspective of the man out there, as Honorable is talking, I'm playing back the perception. I use the word deliberately, perception of the public. Because is it true? It may be wrong that the lawmakers were given bulletproof vehicles, each of which was valued at over 100 million. It was reported that the National Assembly was given 70 billion for palliatives. I can't confirm whether it's true or not. But assuming it's true, it will mean that a certain amount went to each lawmaker. And so the question of pay slip, when I was teaching in the university, I think there was a review of salary in the 80s. Now the issue is, you can have your pay slip, the banks do that very well, structured in such a way that your taxable income does not actually capture your real income. And so if you're calling for concessions or, what you might call, what do you call it now, where you have to make release part of the money, you cut from the basic. So my suspicion, I may be totally mistaken because Honorable is here with us, that call for 50% will come from the basic. He also made a valid point. Your transport allowance and other basic entitlements on assignment, you can't call the police for anybody on that. So my thinking, and I maintain it, and I've not had a counter argument. The last budget, it was rumored, I maintain rumored, because I've not seen it confirmed or contested, that over 30 billion was to go into car park, right? So, and also, each time the National Assembly comes, a couple of billions go into purchase of brand new vehicles, or vehicles that have been used for 4 years. These are the concerns. So nobody is, and concerning the matter of part-time, it need not be. Then unicameral legislature need not translate into a reduction of personnel, but it ought to. But a single house, trim down not to a number. I think also the number of representatives should be reduced. I think that the question of what's going on in the house, he knows. I know honorable members. Outside the country, they have full research team working. But when Nigerians like you and I look at a plenary, in a hall that's supposed to contain 30 people, you see 9. You feel insulted, and it's consistently so. That is part of the problem.
Honorable.
Let me come in here because that's the Prof. This is my June salary.
Mm-hmm.
This is June.
Basic.
Yes.
No, it's total.
So I think we should put that on the
Let's put it up.
Let them take it on screen.
So
Yeah.
it will, come up. So it is
But that's,
930.
sorry to come in here.
Yeah.
Let
Prof.
me put something on the table.
Just before you do that, Prof.
It's not the issue.
Prof, let's get this out the way. You may not think it's an issue, but the average Nigerian is concerned. The issue of jumbo pay for lawmakers has been louder than ever. Now, 936,000 naira.
Yes.
You've been
June,
honest. 1 second.
In June.
Honorable, just 1 second.
Okay.
You've been honest enough to say you earn 936,000, and we have seen that. However, where's the 50% cut?
It's on there.
this?
I think we have
Yes.
it.
Where's this salary was paid on the 1st of August.
Yes.
When does the 50% cut
The
start?
salary they started in July.
This is your July salary.
Yes, they started in July. We approved it in July,
Yes.
and it has to go on processing.
So that's the
before they
salary
do
of.
it. Now let me.
the House of Representatives.
There's another misconception.
Since we're being honest.
When
No.
we are,
No,
let's-
let's-
on this.
you have it
Honorable,
on-
I
you
want
have
us,
it on-
I want
It's on
us
the
to
screen.
address
It's on the
the
screen.
50% cut
Yes.
that should have started in July.
Yes.
The reason is you are being honest now, and it's appreciated.
of
However,
course.
Nigerians want a situation where the National Assembly is not just playing to the gallery. The resolution to cut 50% of your salaries for the next 6 months was supposed to
Yes.
start in July, right?
Of course,
And
yes.
this is your July
I'm
salary,
sorry,
fully
there's a point
paid.
we're missing.
Wait,
I'm sorry.
let me-
There's a point we're missing, Honorable. Sorry. 2004, after the budget came out, a committee chairman came, some members of the National Assembly, because the national press is under the Ministry of Information. There was 300 million allocated, and they came on, what do you call it, oversight function. But that 300 was for capital project. what is it that happens? Do they really carry out oversight? So if you say we are being honest, we should also be honest enough to examine. And that is not to say that every member of the National Assembly is on the train, but that's a dominant train. So what did the minister do? He said, this is for capital project. Nobody is getting a dime out of it. And he got clearance from President Obasanjo. The committee didn't get nothing. What point am I making? Part of what brings a scandal for the National Assembly is oversight functions. What they say, what is described as oversized bags as we exit the function and all of that. So if we're speaking of honesty, we must take up all the issues that bring discredit to patriotic lawmakers who are concerned about the fortunes of this country. That's the issue. But to pretend that all of them, look, when I spend 2 billion to go to the National Assembly, do I look to you like Red Cross? I'm not for that Christmas.
You know, this point you are making is valid. But sometimes when we mention these figures, they sound too bogus to the average Nigerian. And that's why the issue of Honorable Uzokwe's pay is really important.
You see?
When the National Assembly the House of Reps took that decision,
Yes.
the Senate was berated for not taking the same action as the House of Reps. Till today, that hasn't been taken. And then there were those who came up with the conversation of this is just playing to the
Take
gallery.
another angle.
No, just 1 second. This is just playing to the gallery. That's why I want him to respond to Nigerians who would question why you got your full salary
In the
month when you're
50% was
supposed to.
taken off.
Yes.
Let me, we don't pay ourselves, right? It's just like the president saying, fuel subsidy is gone. The next day they implement it. Tomorrow, if Mr. President says today, I reduce fuel to 400 naira, they will tell you that it will take a process. We are documenting it. But let me be sincere and honest with you. The speaker of today, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, has made our plenary so open that you can come in, you can testify to that. He does not hide anything. It was almost after mid-July that we cut our salaries. It was a Hurrian tax passing that motion to cut our salary. It went through because the deputy speaker suggested that. We respected him and we cut our salaries. What they are going to do, the processes they will follow, I don't know. You might now, August now, because they don't cut or they cut, they will now cut 600 or 1 million naira from that pay. You might not have your pay. If I am here and telling you they cut or it started July or it will start August, I don't know. But it will be, it is a process.
It will be process.
Let me correct an impression by Prof. House of Representatives, if we are having a joint section, that capacity of House of Reps, particular, seats not less than the seat there is nothing less than 1,500 seaters. So when you see us, in order to accommodate when we are having joint sitting, it's there that we have joint sitting to accommodate the senators and us. So whenever you see vacant seats, try as much as possible to do a head count